All right. Hello, everyone. Alex from Sales Boomerang here. And I want to run you guys through what it takes to build the best realtor referral network, the absolute best, not one that's revolving around the realtor and giving you business and that's it and that's how it goes, or one that's designed where you're paying for some sort of marketing and hopefully it generates an opportunity and hopefully that opportunity comes back to you. Let me show you what we believe makes for the best referral relationship, one that is mutually beneficial and actually everyone involved. And I'm talking about the realtor, the loan officer, and the borrower has the best experience, right? So first things first, right? To understand this, you have to understand that a borrower is going to have on average 11 mortgage-related transactions, okay? 11. That means if you're meeting somebody on the first one, there are 10 more to come. If you're meeting somebody on the fifth one, there's 6 more to come, right? So you, by the way, and I'm talking to you, the lender, right? You are best positioned to know when these events will happen for that borrower and consequently that buyer, right? If I'm the realtor, I typically get involved a lot less than the lender does, because as a lender, you can do a lot more for me. A realtor, I buy and sell homes. That's where my relationship ends. I may give advice, I may give suggestions, depending on how good I am at what I do, right? But as a lender, there are many different conversations. There's, removing mortgage insurance, right? That's a refi loan, right? Some kind of student loan, maybe to repay, or doing a cash out or a streamline. All of those things is where a lender gets involved and a realtor doesn't, okay? And so what we're going to talk about right now is how do we make this a relationship that is based around what's best for the borrower, the realtor, and you, the lender, right? And we're going to go over a lot of the things on here in depth. Some of them we're going to just go through quickly. We're just going to point out. But this is the agenda items that we're going to go over today, okay? And again, some are going to be quick. Some we're going to stick on there and dig in. So just wanted you to kind of see the list here, and we're going to get moving, all right? So number one thing, this is one of those that we're going to quickly go over. This is a concept, this is a philosophy, this is a theory, okay? 80,000 referral partners. You're looking at this or hearing this going, Alex, are you out of your mind? 80,000 referral partners? You're nuts. I don't even know what that means. Here's what that means. Who is your best referral partner? Who's your best referral source? Some of you may be thinking realtor, right? I'm telling you it's your customer. Okay, so why do we say 80,000 referral partners? You as a company, right? You as an individual, you may not have that many, but as a branch, as a region, as a company, you could have, and this is, again, this is just a metaphor for what it really represents, which is the fact that your database, your customer base is your best referral partner. So you may have 500 customers, you have 500 referral partners. You may have 1,000, you have 1,000 referral partners. 2,000, you have 2,000 referral partners. But you have to make that true. Right? You can't just assume that a customer is going to be a referral. You have to make them want to refer you. And when do you refer customers? Let me rephrase that. When do you make a referral, right? When do you make a referral? When you've had a great experience, when you've experienced something that you really enjoyed, maybe something of great value, extremely memorable, extremely shareable, right? That's when you make referrals. When something goes above and beyond your expectation is when you start making referrals willingly, right? When something meets your expectations, yeah, you're still going to make a referral there. That's good. When something is underwhelming, not so many referrals. So your job, right, is to guide people through the best experience possible to go through this major financial experience that they're going to have, right? This is a very important transaction for them. You know that very well. So how do you make every single customer a referral partner? Well, let's get into this, right? So let's dive a little deeper into this right here. The loan officer realtor relationship right now looks like this, right? You are sticking out your hand and you're saying, hey, realtor, referral here. And realtors understand that. And they start to understand that they are the most important. And guess what? You're not going to bite the hand that feeds you, right? So you're going to be dancing around and you're going to be, bringing them coffee and lunches and dinners and breakfasts and gifts and all kinds of stuff and say, hey, keep referring me business because without you, I won't have the business I could have. Right. And the truth is actually the opposite. you can be more of an impact for your realtor than your realtor can be for you. We're going to go into that. We need to change this paradigm. We need to change this way of thinking. Coming with one hand open is not the future, right? It's not, as a matter of fact, it's not the present. It really isn't. This isn't the best relationship. You can't constantly put your hand out there looking for referrals, but that's what it's like right now. That's what the relationships look like right now. But what do realtors actually care about? What do agents actually care about? In a study, one of the most important things in this particular case, the most important thing is relevant information. Okay. Your agents are looking for relevant information about the buyers that you're working with them. They want accurate feedback, accurate information about their customers, the people that you're working with them. Okay. Obviously, the ability to get the deal done is going to be extremely important. You can see that's right up there. Then responsiveness. And at the end of the day, agents do not care about rates. Okay. They don't. Okay. So what they really want to make sure is that you have relevant information about their buyer, the way that they make money, right? And so that you can take care of them and take care of their customer. And of course, they want you to get the deal done. You need to know this, right? This is what's relevant for your agents. Okay. Now, let me give you an example here. Okay. The whole idea of customer for life is literally just, it's a surface statement. It's just living on the surface. It's a beautiful thing to say. Everyone loves it. Customer for life, customer for life, customer for life. But is that really true? Well, it's not. If you look at this model, you'll see that it's not true. And this is what a typical model looks like. This is what a typical customer relationship looks like in 98% of realtor and lender relationships, okay? Because there's a very small percentage of realtors that do a great job in getting second deal from their customers. A very few that are really good at it, okay? Because here's what typically happens. 2010, there's a home purchase, right? And then we do our basic follow-ups, our basic spam, our random calls, no real rhyme or reason to reach out to someone. And guess what? Within 3 years, somebody's getting a refi and we missed opportunity and we call them 3 or 4 months after they got that refi and we're just checking in and they're like, you just missed it, right? So you've missed a refi. And guess what? Now your realtor, there's no way your realtor's doing a great job keeping in touch with their customer for 8 years for the next purchase. They can try, but it typically happens with spam emails, random follow-ups, no real rhyme or reason. And of course, they're going to lose that opportunity. Now, you as a lender that lost the refi to that big bank, it was your job to keep that customer for you and your realtor. You are responsible for that customer because you have more reasons to be in touch with that customer. So in a realtor-lender relationship, it is you who has to be keeping up with what's happening with your borrower's life so you can be there for them for the little transactions, not for the large transactions again, although refi is considered a pretty significant transaction, but not as significant as a brand new home, right? So it is your job to keep in touch with this customer. And in this particular model, which is a typical model that we see, out of 4 transactions in a 10-year period, you and your realtor partner got 1, okay? And so you have to think about how do you change this? And as we continue to move forward, we're going to show you a different model, okay? We're going to show you a model that 4X's this number, all right? We're going to show you that in just a minute. So how important are realtors to your business, right? Think about that. How important? If they're important, right? If their survival is important, then what we're sharing with you right now is going to be critical for both you and your realtor, especially in the way that we see business getting done today. The trust factor, right? Trust is so important. We know that's been important, but it's becoming more and more important. The trust factor is becoming probably the key. As you could see, what's relevant? Let's go back a couple slides. Relevant information, right? That's built on trust. How important are your realtors to you? If they're super important, you have to build trust with them. You have to show them that you're in it with them together, right? Not that you're a realtor, I'm a loan officer, let's meet together and do a deal for someone. It's we're in this together. Your buyers are my borrowers are your buyers. Let's figure out a way to make the experience great, right? So how does this sound, right? One-way deals. We talked about this, right? Referral here. That's the way, that's how everyone feels. You know what it feels like? It feels like, let's trade deals for donuts, right? You will come to a real estate office with boxes of donuts and then expect deals. That's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. That's what it is, right? It's no longer just a joke. It is the truth. This is how you've built your relationships with these realtors. The one thing that's always true in the world is change, and things have to evolve. This is part of evolving, right? So instead of bringing donuts, right, let's bring relationships. Think about that for a minute. Instead of bringing donuts to your realtors, let's bring them opportunities in building real relationships with you and their buyer and your borrower, right? So let me show you an example, okay? Here's a new model, okay? This is a borrower intelligence-driven relationship between you and your realtor, and here's what the model looks like. You remember the old model. You got one deal. That was the deal where you sold the house in 2010, and you got to do the loan, and your realtor got that deal. Well, with the proper borrower intelligence in place, with understanding exactly what your borrower is going through on a regular basis and being updated, all the events, all the different things that are happening in their life that could trigger a mortgage event, you will know that in 2013, they're going to be ready for a loan. And you will be in touch with them and you will do their loan, right? Boom. You went from doing one transaction, you've already doubled. You've already taken one deal and you've turned it into two. You've already doubled the amount of transactions you've done with one borrower with this plan, right? The system will automatically notify you when the borrower is ready for another loan and you're going to be there for them, okay? Now, because you've gotten the second loan, because you built a deeper relationship, guess what? On that transaction in 2013, you've already contacted the realtor and you said, hey, we're going to be refinancing them. That realtor is going to pick up the phone, is going to call that buyer and say, hey, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited that you are doing another deal with the lender, right? With our lender, with you, right? Hey, they're the best. That's why I brought them to the table in the first place. I'm so excited for you. If you have any questions, let me know. So now the realtor has been in touch with the buyer at the exact right time. There's a transaction, the realtor is there for them. Guess what? Cementing that moment. Okay. There's something in psychology called somatic markers. These types of transactions we remember. Think back to your last home transaction or your last refi. You know who you did it with, you know how it went, you know the experience. Same thing. You bring the realtor in for that experience and they're being cemented into the experience, into the memory of that transaction. Guess what? 2018 comes, you know the buyer, the borrower, you know what they're going through. You get the notification that they could be looking to buy a new home. Boom. You get in touch with the realtor gets involved. Guess what? You got your third transaction. The realtor's got his second transaction where the realtor had one. He's already or she's already doubled their business with the exact same borrower, or in this case, their buyer in 2018. And of course, 2020 comes around, everybody's refinancing. Guess what? You know it's time for them to refinance too. You get that opportunity again. So you literally 4X your business from one deal and hopeful, right? You crossed your fingers. I hope I get your business again. You go from one deal to 4 deals, or from one deal to definitely having a chance to swing for all 4 deals. You're not going to be caught off guard. You're going to get a chance to win that business every single time. Then it's up to you and how you represent yourself and what you say and how you say it, right? Then it's all on you to be the best person you can be to make that borrower feel comfortable and trust you. And the way they're going to trust you is you make it about them, right? This entire program is about making it about them, right? So, you know, the real question for you then is the how. And it's about personalization, right? It's about making sure that you're operating with as much efficiencies as possible, right? You are automating whatever you can. You are not putting all the burden on yourself. You're investing into technology, into resources that make the experience of connecting with your buyers, your borrowers, your realtors very special. And you take the weight off of your shoulders by trying to do it all manually, right? That's the hard way. There's a lot of respect in it, but that's the hard way. You know, and you have to ask yourself, how important is it to make the customer happy? Stupid question. I know it's a stupid question, Alex. Of course it's important. Well, then do it. Then you have to do it. If we know it's important, you know, I speak to a lot of different lenders and a lot of loan officers, spend a lot of time with this group, and everyone wants to make their customer happy, but they're not willing to do everything it takes to make the customer happy. And to be honest with you, they're not asking the customer what's going to make them happy. So if you want to make them happy, ask the question. And also, do not be afraid to beat your chest and be proud of everything you've done in investing into yourself in the business. Every CRM that you invest in, LOS, marketing automation, borrower intelligence, all the things that you do inside your business, you want to tell your customer. Think about the biggest and best companies in the world. You know what they do? They tell everyone in the world how amazing they are because of the investments they've made. IBM, Microsoft, Apple, you name it. They all talk about, we're putting this technology in, we're doing this next year. This is the next release. This is what we're doing. Tell your customers you're investing in yourself, which means you're actually investing in them, right? Because you're not buying all this technology to make, for yourself completely, right? You're really doing it. Let me rephrase that. You are buying it for yourself because you want to make your life easier and better and more efficient. But you're doing it to make their life better, their life more efficient, their life easier. You're making the investment in yourself so that you can serve them better. And you want to make that clear. You don't want to make it a surprise for them, right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. How do you make those customers happy? And how do you use data to drive business for the realtor, right? I just showed you guys some examples. If you use data properly, here's what can happen. If you use the information inside your database, if you're doing a great job keeping your borrowers happy and you're tracking the information properly, you will literally double your realtor's business. Double would probably be the easiest thing. You could see this number go, because by the way, that is the average. I don't know if everyone knows this, but there's an average of 12 transactions that a realtor will do. That's your average realtor, about one a month. That's the average realtor in the United States, right? Now, you may not be working with that kind of realtor. You want somebody that's a little bit more aggressive. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. Whoever you bring to the table and whosever data you start to ingest and you say, look, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, we're a partner. But a partner means we work together on every possible deal. It's not once in a while. I'm going to be your partner because I'm going to bring more opportunities to you than you've ever brought to me, ever. And this is a fact. This is not Alex making things up. This is a fact. You will literally bring more referrals to your realtor partners. You will literally bring them more opportunities every single year than they've ever brought to you. And I don't care how many years they've worked with you. Okay. And the worst you'll do for them is double their business. That's the worst you'll do for them. Right? The best, it's limitless. It's up to you. But with the right information flowing both ways, every open house they do, every opportunity of people they're speaking with, they should be giving you that information. You should be tracking it for them because you have access to information they don't. They're not even allowed to have access to. And you can bring all of those opportunities back to life for your realtor. Your realtors are in bad shape compared to you as a loan officer, as a lender, right? So you want to now extend your arm to them and say, hey, I used to say put a referral here. Now I'm holding 18 referrals for you, but I want this to continue. For this to continue, we have to be a partner. Let's make sure every opportunity that lives in your database, I can bring to life for you. I can bring to life for you, right? That's the conversation. And so, look, if you look at this, okay, you start with your base, okay? So even though we have this numbered 1, 2, 3, we're going to start with 3 and then go 2 and 1. Okay. So a predictable base is when you understand what's happening inside your database. But the only way to understand what's happening inside your database is to have a system that analyzes your database in real time on a daily basis, right? And that's what Sales Boomerang does. So you get a predictable base. You start to understand how much business lives in your database and how many opportunities you're going to get, right? About 3% of your database will alert every single month. Okay. So about 36% of your entire database will have an event every year. That's right. More than a third of your entire database will have a mortgage related event every single year. Yes, your jaw may have dropped, but that's important for you to understand. If you think you're like, hey, I'm getting a lot of people coming back to me. I have a database of 500 customers and I did 3, deals from them this year. You're like, ooh, that's a big number. That's nothing. That means you literally missed out on another 11 to 12. Literally, right? Like you missed those. And a lot of people don't understand that. So build a predictable base. Start the referral partner program with your realtor. Start collecting their data, putting them into your system, right? And then, as you know, the more repeat business, the more profitable you are, okay? The less, if you're on a P&L, if whatever model you are working, right? Doesn't matter, actually. I didn't even have to bring up the P&L concept. Whatever your model you're working at, doesn't matter which industry you're in. The more repeat business, the more referral business. The more repeat business, the more referral business. And that is the business that is the most profitable for you, your referral partners, and obviously the buyers or the borrowers or the customers, however you want to look at them. it is better for them to work with you again. Nobody wants to start a relationship over. So look at this. This is your opportunity. Build a predictable base. You have a database, the system analyzes it. Start stacking it with referral partners and work to get as many repeat customers and as many referrals as possible. Because who are your referral partners? Who are your best referral partners? Your customers. Okay. So before Sales Boomerang, right? How many different opportunities did you send to your agents? I've spoken to so many people in this industry that say they rarely, if ever, refer business to their agents. I've spoken to realtors. One of my best friends in Maryland is now just killing it in a real estate space, just killing it. He came from the lending space, moved to the real estate space, and he spoke to him actually. This is a recording, so one day you're all going to listen to this, but here, let's put a date around this recording, right? It's 4th of July weekend. We just came from it in 2020. And I spent time with him this weekend at a pool party with him. And he said to me, he's like, look, of course, we talk business, talk shop. He's like, hey, I don't even expect opportunities from my lenders. I'd like them, but I don't expect it. And he's like, you know what's strange? I come from the other side. I should have been expecting it. He was in the mortgage industry for more than 10 years. It's like, I should be expecting it, but I'm not. I just want them to really, ready? I really want them to take great care of the buyer. That's my most important thing. So if they don't refer somebody to me, fine, but I really want them to take care of my buyer. But here's the thing. When I asked him, would he prefer to work with a lender that is referring business back to them consistently, or is it truly just about taking care of the customer? And I know you guys are going to shake your head and know the answer to this. Of course, he wants to work with the lender that's referring him business. Of course he does. He said that would be ideal. If he can get repeat customers from the lender, that would be ideal. That would make his job easier. That would make the relationship stronger with the buyer. And that's exactly what he's looking for. So we are literally helping you multiply, compound the amount of opportunities. Sales Boomerang will make you a better referral source for your realtors than your realtors are to you. Period. Bottom line. That's it. Okay. Because the amount of information you can get out of your database that currently does not exist in a realtor's database is significant, extremely significant. So drive those opportunities back to your realtors. Okay. So what kind of lift can you get, right? What can you expect when you're adding this relationship between you and your realtor, and you're adding a borrower intelligence platform inside your organization? This is the average. Just want you guys to understand, this is what our clients are seeing on average. So what you guys are seeing on average, right? This is the kind of lift you can expect. If you didn't know the numbers, this is the kind of lift. You can see the numbers on your screen right there, right? About an extra 50 opportunities a month. Deals, right? Over 13 million in volume, depending on what kind of loan amounts you're doing, right? So this is what you can expect, okay? And then finally, if we keep drilling into the results, this is just an example, right? You guys know this, you've seen this before, but this is an example of what some organizations are getting by turning on the program right here, right? A very clear value, right? This particular example is a real lender that is getting more than 20x ROI, which is on average, you get 20x, getting 24x ROI. And this is not unusual, right? If our average is getting 20x, that means we have people getting much higher. This is one of those examples. And this group in a month did 98 deals and took 137 apps. And this is what happens when you have an automated borrower intelligence system feeding you and your realtors. This is what you can expect to get. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys got a lot of nuggets out of this. Thank you for spending this time with me.